Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Bodyboarding News Network, where we bring you news, rider interviews, and everything bodyboarding. In this episode, we are dropping in on Amaury Lavernhe, stalwart within the bodyboarding industry. We talk about his book, Fronton, Life on the Road. Hope you enjoy this one. Well, welcome everybody from a really icy cold Cape Town, South Africa. Yes, it does get cold in the southern tip of Africa. And I'm dropping in on two times world champ Amaury Lavernhe, aka Mars. Mars, my man, what's up? Thank you for joining us. And how's life been? What's been happening?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good to have this meeting with you. We missed yesterday, but yeah, busy time. We've been pretty much off for like 2 months. Like locked down at home with the kids and watching pretty much Fronton and Gwensha breaking every day for like 2 months. It's been a tough time. Tough time on one side, but yeah, pretty lucky on the other side. Like, I mean, I realized that I was really lucky where I live today, which is a bit isolated. I was stuck to have my own house where I had so much things to do. I was stuck to have kids, because you really don't never get bored with kids in your life.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good moment, even if it was yeah, pretty much like all the activities stop, no money coming, no academy, yeah, nothing pretty much happening. So since 2 weeks now, we are getting back on track here in the Canaries, and then it's been a pretty busy time now with the academy and selling Reflex here around to distributing the brand. So yeah, pretty cool time now.
That's fantastic. It's crazy how this COVID has really affected everybody's way of life and kind of forced you to really rethink and relook at things and how you're approaching business, how you're approaching your family. Just it really gave you that opportunity, as bad as it is. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it has opened up some other doors.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, it's just in my little world, like of bodyboarding, and with my family, it's really opened how a new perception of the world we have around us, you know, and the I don't know, like, yeah, it's a all different vision we've got of the world now. We can see that things can change one day to another, so it makes you really enjoying the present moments. I really enjoy to be with my kids, see them growing, you know. That's going to be a first year for like the last 17 years that I'm not going to be traveling this year. So this is like a totally different mind setup, and I like it. Actually. I just yeah, it's the capacity of everyone to reinvent itself and just start some new vision of life projects and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me, is this the longest that you've been out of the water? I mean, how was the regulations on the island with you guys? Did they stop all sporting activities, including surfing?
Okay, yes. So when it started, it's just been stopping for everyone, like all the activity sport. That was on the 15th of March. They just stopped straight away. That was for 2 weeks. So at the beginning, I didn't even realize it. I was like, okay, is that really going to happen? And after 1 week, I was almost happy, because I had so much things to do. I was like, boy, it's almost good we have no surfing. I'm going to focus on other things I've got to do with my kids, my house. And then I was like, oh, this is almost the end. Like in 5 days, I'm in the water. It's okay. And then they extended for 2 more weeks. And then I was like, wow, this is heavy. And then 2 more weeks. So we get like a month and a half. And so this is definitely, to answer to your question, the longest time I've been out of the water, because I never had any injuries really in my career where I had to be out of the water for so long. And then when we get back to action, it was like with timetable. So you were allowed to surf from like 7 in the morning to 10, and then from 8 at night to 9, because it's getting dark around 9 now. So we could surf like with timetable. And then for 2 weeks now, yeah, I think 2 weeks it's open to everyone, and whenever you want.
That's crazy. I mean, over here in South Africa as well, dude, like we were locked down. I mean, technically, there's 5 levels here. So level 5 was like the hard lockdown. You can't leave your house. You can only go to the to seek medical attention and to buy food. Okay, so up until last Monday, they also banned the sale of alcohol. So you couldn't buy any form of alcohol, wine, beers, nothing. That was completely locked. And no activity, which was extended for 5 weeks. You couldn't leave your house to do anything for 5 weeks but go to the shops. Then they relax it to like level 4, where you can only exercise between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., excluding any oceanic activities. Beaches are closed. I mean, this week was the first week that most of the guys started getting in the water after close to 80 days out of the water. I mean, it's been crazy, man.
It's been crazy, yeah, no, man. It's heavy.
Yeah. So poor people that smoke, I mean, it's one of the few vices. You still can't buy a cigarette. So the illegal trade is nuts. It's like 30 euros for a pack of smokes. It's
oh my God,
ridiculous. You know, so yeah, I mean, it's been insane, and the fact, like you're saying, like no injury that you've had has kept you out of the water so long. But
yeah, no, and living there, like almost at the end, I was like, man, if that keep going, I'm just gonna go in the mountain or something. I can't handle to see the waves every day like that. And there was the helicopter coming every day in the zone where I live, and when there was all this wave, the helicopter was coming every day. Yeah, I heard some crazy stories, like in the Canaries, in Reunion Island, there was these guys, and the cops was like running after them with the helicopter and something, like it was like a movie. I saw this guy in Costa Rica get shot by a cop, and I saw here in Canaries, a guy got like a $5 grand fine because he was in the water and he didn't want to get out, and the cops came and he just ran away to another beach paddling, and they got him. So for a few reasons, not only the fact to be in the water, but the fact that he ran away and they had to get him, right? He had like a $5 grand fine at the end.
Wow.
So that was heavy. That was on Tenerife. So yeah, that was pretty gnarly. And I was seeing video of like big towns, like my mom live in Paris and my other brother are in a big town in France, main town. Oh, that was heavy. So it's why I was really, I think I'm lucky where I live, and it was isolated. There is not too many people around. The cops I didn't even see cops around here. So at least we were like able to go a bit in the street in front of my place, walking, playing the ball with my son, and have a little bit of freedom.
Sure. It gives you a lot of perspective on life all of a sudden, and taking that freedom for granted, and taking just being able to travel and going your normal life. It's just, you know, things
no travel this year. Like some friend of mine from Canaries want that I join us to go to Namibia maybe in July. Let's see if it's happening, but at the moment the flights are closed, and I'm not really keen to travel at the moment, even if I could like go to the airport, mask on, in the plane with people. Yeah. I don't think I would like that.
Like, I mean, I think August would probably be a better bet. You know, so that's like July, August, and maybe early September is really good time for Namibia. Yeah, but you gotta hit me up, and then we'll go.
I know. I need to go there. Maybe August. Yeah, I'm more vision. I have a better vision for August. July, I'm gonna work here. I'm gonna be with the farm, and yeah, I think August could be a good day to watch it. I need to go there before I die.
You have to, before the banks get ruined, before something else happens. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
it is incredible how that wave works. The mechanics of that thing. I mean, you've seen all the footage. You've seen Andre Bertha and Ben Play and all those.
Yeah, but I mean, it's another thing I think seeing in life and in real and surfing it. Like, I mean, it must be like, it must be like a crazy rush.
Never been in a barrel that long ever. But anyways, that's just amazing. And you know what? We'll get off this COVID topic now, but again, it truly has, you know, given us an opportunity to reconnect again with the family and stuff like that. I mean, like you said, for 17 years you've been on the road, and it's tough. You know, it's tough as a professional athlete. It's tough as a father, a husband. You know, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it. So I'm sure this time at home has really been, you know, amazing for you, just humbling and
hey man, I love it. I love it. Seeing my kids talking in French with them. They really now fully starting to speak French, you know, after these few months of me here at home, because normally I travel for some contest or for my courses courses overseas, or I'm on the other island looking for waves. I mean, I'm at home, but every 2 weeks I'm away like for a few days, and I come back, and I just feel that after this, the last time I was out of the island was in February when I was in Costa Rica. So it's been like, pretty much 4 months straight here, and yeah, I love it. I love it. And I've been doing so much things on my house. I built an apartment on the top of my house for people renting it for the next Fronton season.
Cool.
I've been doing so much stuff, so I'm happy. I'm happy.
No, that's fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about the Bodyboarding Academy and kind of how that came about. What was your thought process behind it? Was it just like a good opportunity, a gap in the market, or did it start off as a passion project? How did this play?
I think it's a bit of everything, but yeah, it's definitely a passion project, because guys that really know me since I'm young, they know that I really like following people in training. And since I'm really young, with my friend in Reunion, we were always helping each other and trying always. I don't know. I was always like with taking the kids in Reunion, surfing with me, and so I always had this in my blood. I mean, to teach a bit at people, and I was like to see people like a kid that with maybe a couple tips gonna do something. That's always, I had a good feeling about it. So that's the first point. I'm pretty sure I've got this in my mind and in my blood for a long time. And then I was starting with, actually the first guy that gave me this idea was the guy that is doing sniper in Puerto Rico, my good friend Johnny, and he was working with sniper in Puerto Rico, and he told me, Amaury, I love, when we were surfing together, I was giving him tips, and he was like, Amaury, we have to make an academy. Like, maybe I'm sure people will stick to it. That could be a project with sniper. And so I was like, okay, we're gonna do a course in Puerto Rico, and it was a success. Like, I mean, many people came, and I realized that I really love to share some knowledge with the riders, and from that I just say, okay, I'm gonna create my academy. But that was just like a vision. I was like, I'm not going to create anything where I live. I just maybe going to travel, and some place where I go, I can organize courses with the locals. So that was just a vision. And I did another course in France at some stage. And then I realized, okay, I have to create something. So I create the logo, and I create a bit the concept that was not even clear in my mind. And it's still like, it's pretty much more clear today. But I don't know. I was just wanted to offer to the people the opportunity to bring me to them, to surf together, and so I can give them some tips about bodyboarding, but also about how to manage to structure bodyboarding in their country. Because where I live in Reunion and France, bodyboarding is really structured. Like, I mean, since I'm young, I've been in a club, and then I've been in the federation, and I've been competing for so long. So that was that's something I really like to do. And today, but I've got a really good plans of where to organize courses, and which people want to see me again in their country, and with the local community, and step by step I build this platform.
It's incredible that you can get to travel with your academy and go to, let's call it, exotic places and different places to teach kids, and to, it's teach them about bodyboarding, teach them about ocean education, ocean safety, and everything that goes along with it, which is just a phenomenal. And you know what? It's a pity we don't have more of the pro riders taking up arms and actually trying to convert that into a business. It's
true, but it's not easy if you follow the tour. Like, I mean, I've been doing this and the tour for a few years, and I was actually, when my performance on the tour was almost decreasing a little bit, because I was really focused on this traveling too. And then when I was away to compete, I was away from the family. It is a world equation, but and so many factors coming into it. But I knew that when I was enjoying so much during my academy. So when I was getting paid. So when I was doing the world tour, when you're not sure to make money, and you get actually a stress, like, to compete. I mean, I love competing, but it's a stressful period. You're not sure to get money. And then I had this course when I was like having such a good time. I was getting paid 100%. My travel was paid. And I was like, wow. And I was between that for a couple of years. And then last year I get the step, and I almost leave the world tour, even if I was there for a few contests. and I did some really good courses, and I spent some really good time in my life, in my human life. I mean, meeting so many people and being so relaxed in the water and my surfing, and it's actually an amazing feeling. People paying you to share your passion. This is such a good. I'm really happy of where I am today with that project.
No, it's fantastic. It must have also been, like you say, it's a crazy balance. It's a lot of stress, you know, because you got all that pressure needing to do well at the contest, to get money, to get a proper paycheck at each event. Then you got to, you know, think of when your next course is going to be, and, you know, just all the financial stress that just comes around it. And it's just really great to see how it seems to be getting a great forward momentum.
Yeah, no, today, like, I mean, last year, my academy was my main income. This is my main sponsors for the last 2 years. For the last 2 years, that between like my private sponsors and the selling of goods I'm doing in the Canaries, boards and wetsuit and my academy. This is my academy that have been giving me food pretty much for the last 2 years. So yeah, I'm really focusing on that. And this year, I had, like, normally now I was in Indo normally at the end of April. I had a course in Indo. Some guys were going in Indo, like free surfing, and they were bringing me with them. I had all paid. I all paid for like 10 days in Indo with my friends. And it didn't happen. And then now last weekend I had to be in Spain, and next weekend I had to be in England, and I had to be in Mexico in July, Arica. And so, yeah, this is all going down with the COVID. And it's okay, because I'm going to jump again on that opportunity to focus on the academy in Canaries. But this year, I had a really good schedule. That's all went down, but it's okay. It's there. It's there somewhere.
There's somewhere. I mean, dude, I'm sure things will start slowly but surely resurfacing again. And the way we look at how things are going to be done is going to change a bit. But you know, I just wish you all the luck with that, and we are following the academy with a keen eye. So let's talk a little bit about your book, Bodyboarding Is Life. I mean, as far as my knowledge is, you are one of the only professional bodyboarders to ever bring out a proper biography book of that. Like, also, again, what was your thoughts behind that? How come did you release a book? Unfortunately, I haven't read it yet, but I promise you I will. But just the whole thing is just because it's really interesting, and your story leading up to then, your timeline, you were like almost at the top of your game, and well, you were, and you still are. But you know, in that time, it was just a really good thing to see coming out of the bodyboarding, almost the golden years of our sport in terms of the competitive bodyboarding.
Yeah. So that idea of the book, it came from some many things. That my main inspiration for this book was my mom first, because my mom, she's really smart. She used to be like a journalist for many years. She's writing really well. She speaks like 5 languages. And the second person that really inspired me for this, that was the guy called Sébastien Weiss. And at this stage, he was like a redactor of the French magazine, because by this moment we had like magazines still.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And France had a long story of bodyboarding magazine with different redactors that was there for a few years, going back. And this guy was the last redactor for that French magazine that disappeared a couple of years after. So that was the 2 people that really inspired me to do it. But the context at this moment, it's because being from Réunion, so France winning the world title at this stage, like, and I was on the tour almost only for 3 years before that, like 2 years pretty much, because the main year I doing the tour was 2008, and I won 2010. So I don't know, like in my little world and that little bodyboarding world, for me, I was a hero at this moment. I was my own hero, but from Réunion that have such a long bodyboarding history from long time ago, with people like Thomas Richard and David Legley, you know, many good guys. And me, I get to that point where really, I mean, when I won the world title, I get back to Réunion, I was like 60 people waiting for me at the airport.
That's a beautiful thing.
You know, it was just something big, and it took me a long time to realize where I was, because a few years before I was I was just dreaming that the people were coming to reunion and watching them competing. And so anyway, that was the contest that made me realize, and this redactor came to me and like, Amaury, we have to make a book about bodyboarding. This is an opportunity. You're going to tell your story to the world, and we're going to make it through a book. I've got all the contact for the photographer, and you're going to make the interview. You, Amaury, you make the interview to all your friends. And me, I take care of the shots, and your mom's going to make all the correction of the language and everything. So we worked together for a year pretty much. And we just start to add contents. Okay, we're going to talk about the history of the bodyboarding for girls, and then we talk about the world tour, and then we talk about training and the food and who are the legend of the sport, and we just start to add contents. And it was such a good moment of my life, because at the moment I was fully living from bodyboarding and from private sponsors. I was a pro, like a professional really, and I had so much time to think about it, and that was such a good project, man. I really love to do it. And my mom's still telling me like few times, Amaury, we have to update your book, like a second version with what's happening with the new champions and talking about the new legends of the sport today and Pierre and all these guys. And I don't know, I will do it at some stage. I don't know, but yeah, step by step. But I'm happy we talk about that, because it is something that stayed there, and it's true, like really no one's take the step to make a book, but it's a big job, man. It's something you can't do alone. You can't do it alone.
Absolutely.
And I still have like a couple English version. I did 2000 version of French, and I did then after 2000 English version, and I'm pretty sure I still have maybe 800 English. So I sell about 3,000 books in total.
That's not bad. And where can we get the books? I mean, we'll have all the links and everything after the episode.
Yeah, so no more French, only in English, and the book, it's contacting myself on my shop online, rlstore.es. I've got it there, and then maybe in Amazon, have a few more, because it was on Amazon at some stage. And if not, just contact me and I send you a copy. For about maybe $25, $20, or maybe with the shipment, depending when you live, it could get to $30 with the shipment. But it is like 130 pages, all in colors, and there is some great contents in there.
Well, that's a good piece of bodyboarding history. Looking back now, it's really 10 years. So
it's 10 years now. I've got some few posts to do this year about my title. I'm thinking already I'm going to do like a couple, like a title birthday or something, like a couple posts I will do this year, because I had some good memories since it's been 10 years already.
That's fantastic. And you are probably one of the fittest mofos on earth. I mean, I was watching some of your exercise sessions you put on Instagram. Bro, I just got tired watching that stuff. It's amazing. Like, is that has to be part of your everyday? I mean, that is. And then leading into your contests, is there any like specific pre-heat or pre-event training that you do leading up to events with high impact weights, such as a big Itaquachara or gnarly? I mean, floppos, it's one size or no. And naturally going into your background, your backyard, which is a Fronton. So do you change it up a bit, or do you keep it as consistent as possible?
No, I've been changing a bit. I like to change on my training. I mean, what you see recently, or this training I've been doing online, which is the body weight workout with like some movement I'm doing. This is not new. I've been doing it for a couple years, but this is something I really like to do these days, because I've got the weight that I want. I'm not there to lose weight. I don't want to get more weight. So I've got the weight what I want, which is like 75 kilos. So I don't need really to doing more with maybe some weight or something that if you want to really get some muscle and get some volume, you will need to get some weight really. And if you want to lose weight, you're gonna need to work on the cardio and sweating a lot. So I don't know. It's been like a really good balance for me, these types of training. But to answer to your question, yeah, I'm changing my training, because to me, depending on the wave, it's going to be a different types of effort, and your body is going to need different type of training. If you watch Itakochara, for example, Itakochara, it's really on the cardio. I mean, your heart's going to beat really hard, and the danger in Itakochara is to get like 5 waves in a row in the head.
Yeah.
You really have to have like some resistance, and you really have to have your lungs like in shape, and your heart's beating well. Like, so it's different to Fronton. Fronton, the danger in Fronton is to hit the bottom. You're not gonna stay long underwater at Fronton. So depending on the competition and on the travel I'm doing, my preparation was a bit different. When I go to Mexico, before going to Mexico, I'm working for months like cardio. It's all about cardio, because we want to get there and you want to be fit. Exactly. It's all happening inside, you know, and I've seen so many people going to Mexico and party and smoking, and they're having a good trip, but they're not really gonna perform in the wave, because when it's like 6 to 8 foot Puerto Escondido, it's heavy, you know, like it's really physical. If you want to perform, it's really physical. And in Fronton, you can be in shape as much as you want. You can get like in shape. If you hit the bottom hard with the head, you hit the bottom hard with the head.
Yeah, you can't hit your head against a wall.
So Fronton, it's more like about techniques, about confidence, self-confidence. It's not that much about the physical preparation. But yeah, Arica, Itakochara, Mexico, for example, it's really about physical preparation. So yeah, depending on where I'm going, I'm trying to focus a bit on my training. But I mean, bodyboarding, like there is no study, like official study of how a bodyboarding have to be physically. Nobody did any study about it. If you watch like other sport, there is some really precise statistic and precise things about how you have to be, how your heart beating have to be, and blah, blah, blah. Bodyboarding, it's just in the air. People are like, okay, I have what I need. But to me, a bodyboarder have to be a really complete athlete. In high level, you have to be flexible. You have to be strong. You have to get some good cardio. You have to get some good resistance, like about your muscle. Like when you surf 5 hours, I mean, it's a sport that really asks your body like a lot of physical abilities.
Yeah, because it's being a full body workout, you know, just not focusing on one set, muscles, you know, so it's a whole package in that. So
after the lockdown, I mean, I've been training every day during the lockdown, and when I've been in the water first week, I was dead. Like, I mean, I've been surfing every day. See, when the lockdown stopped, and I was so tired, like if I was unfit, because bodyboarding is just another type of effort and another type of muscle that you are training at home.
No, that's crazy. And that's actually wise words. I mean, for everybody watching, I mean, just make sure you guys go and follow Mars. Make sure that you take a leaf out of his book. I mean, it's coming from a 2-time world champ and a master of Fronton. So let's talk about Fronton and let's talk about floppos. And in my opinion, it's just my opinion, those are probably 2 other ways that I think you have a very special relationship with. You know, I think it was last year, you, PLC, I can't remember the other 2 dudes in your heat, unfortunately. In that one heat, you clocked 2 10s, PLC clocked another 10. I mean, it's and then you were free surfing as well. And I think there was this one barrel that everybody stopped filming and thought he's done, and you kind of get out of the white water close to GT's rock. I mean, I don't know how you stayed in that foam ball for so long. It's just like when Mars surfs Fronton and when Mars surfs floppos, people pay attention. It's like, is that just a type of wave, those gnarly reef breaks that you are so mentally prepared for, that you are actually in that position to push your limits? Or actually, are you one of those persons where your limit is way further than certain athletes in the field?
Okay, so I think the first point is because I've been surfing like rocks and reef all my life. Like, I mean, I never had beach break close to my place. There was no beach breaks in Réunion. I arrived in Canaries. There is almost no beach breaks, 1 or 2, but I never surfed really beach breaks in my life. So that could be like an advantage at some points in any contest, but sometimes I'm lost on beach breaks, and I can really feel that I've got not that much abilities on this kind of waves. But yeah, coming to a wave that Fronton, for example, it's mainly because I'm living there for almost 10 years now, in front of that wave, surfing it pretty much in every conditions. And Fronton is such a mechanical wave that if you surf it every day, you understand that well the how the wave works. So you really can like anticipate what the wave's gonna do. Fronton happens really fast. Fronton, it could be like the most intermittent wave in the world, because you can see people charging in Teupo, they're coming in Fronton, they're not feeling comfortable. You see some Australians surfing the right, like 20 foot, they're coming in Fronton 6-8 foot, they're not feeling comfortable. And me, no one can say that at 8 foot is comfortable in Fronton, not even me, no one. If someone's saying, oh no, in Fronton 8 foot, I'm easy, or he's crazy, or he's lying.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Fronton is such a wave that it's definitely not my favorite wave in the world. People ask me, oh, your favorite wave in Fronton? No, I prefer a wave. It's more fun. Fronton, it's always putting your limits. So it's why I like to live here, because it's an endless search of your limits and pushing your limits every time you go in the water. And sometimes we don't surf Fronton for like 2 months, and there is a big Fronton. Without surfing it for 2 months, and boom, Fronton, heavy. So you have to be ready for that. So that Fronton, it's different than Flopos, where Flopos have, it's pretty much breaking every day. You can surf it more time. I've been surfing more in Fronton than Flopos, but Flopos have been coming in Flopos since 2006. So it's been a pretty big run coming to that waves. And I think it's many factors. I think my self-confidence, it's about my training, and I'm a left-hander rider too. So it's right on the left under of Flopos. I'm feeling really comfortable technically. And it's all about the calculation. I'm calculating. Some people think, oh, Amaurys is crazy. He's just leaving his brain on the shore and just going there, like closing his eyes. I'm not like that. I'm calculating a lot. So it's why in that barrel, for example, in Flopos, I was in the barrel knowing that I had still some space before the rocks, so I still can handle my board to wait to come out. Maybe another rider will be in the barrel thinking, oh, I'm too close to the rocks, I have to get away from there and dive. Yeah. But me, I knew that I had like 10 meters still the rocks, so I could handle my board and I came out. Some small thing that makes that I'm really calculator surfing. But yeah, it's the challenge to pushing my limits. I love that. And Fronton and Arica, it's typically the wave that you're gonna find your limits really easily. Yeah. Even if you are prepared. So I really like this type of challenge, and yeah.
That's crazy. Like, also, like, it goes to show you can be surfing the wave your whole life, but not one wave is the same. You really have to have your wits about you and really be calculated, and not maybe just throw caution to the wind like certain people do and just go and hope you make it. And that's just evident to many years of studying the sport and studying the skills and the techniques and what it takes to, for you to be able to know there's about 10 meters to go. If I sit a little bit higher, or you're just hugging your board, hugging the foam ball, you will make it out. I was choking on my empanada when you made it out there. It's like, I gave up. I was like, oh man, that sucks. And there's Mars. Like, oh my shit, he just did that. Dude, that was insane. That's still etched in my memory as one of my fun.
That was definitely some of my best barrel I had in Arica, that one. But yeah, it's like, to me, it was really on something calculating. When you can see someone maybe with more talent than me, because I've been working so hard, and when you see guys like Tanner or Pierre surfing with so much talent, the wave, and maybe they not calculate as much as me, but the talent is talking. The talent is talking, and it just makes it seem easy. And me, maybe some people see it easy, but Amaurys make it looks easy from outside, but inside I'm really focused. And maybe when I see Pierre, that is a bit like performing so much, but I don't think he's that focused. But he's got so much talent, and then So I don't know, like, yeah, seeing this guy surfing in flow post, I think, and in Fronton, it's really about the techniques, because this guy have got like such a step in front of many riders technically. So I don't know, like everyone I think have his different approach, but my approach is definitely calculation. Nice. Calculation and preparation.
Well, that's good. Well, I mean, sure, that should be a leaf out of everybody's. Well, that everybody should take a leaf out of your book when it comes to that, just in terms of how to prepare and just be focused and stuff like that. But talk about limits. I mean, last year's Fronton Pro was gnarly. I mean, the conditions were swerving. It was crazy conditions. I mean, the last couple of days, or the last day specifically, I mean, we saw some, I think PLC hit his head as well, and he was out, and San Martino was out, like just guys, you know, falling by the wayside. I mean, you just making it through, and then it's onshore, then it's offshore, and then it's, you know, it was one of the crazy days out there. And then a young little kid called Tristan Roberts. I mean, you guys had a solid battle, and that was a gnarly day of surfing. I mean, you must have been absolutely tired and shattered, like just drained from all of that. I mean, that's a lot of surfing in one day.
No, that was a lot of surfing, and especially on my quarterfinal when I make it at the last seconds and passing. I'm pretty sure it was Tanner, and there I was, because I was out and it was like 30 seconds remaining, and I had this 10 on my last wave, and there, coming to the rocks, I lost a lot of energy screaming and getting this joy out. That sometime, and there I lost a bit my control, because I just pushing all this energy out when I should keep it inside. And then I had this semi-final against Jared, and same thing, I make it at the last second with like a 8.5 on the left at the last seconds, and there even more, there I just been screaming and getting so much energy out of my body, and then I was almost cooked. And then I get to and when I was seeing Tristan, when he was quiet there, preparing himself, and me, I was just screaming. Everybody was like, Amaurys, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I'm doing a mistake. I'm putting too much energy out. But anyway, that's not an excuse, but I know that next time I will not do that. I will not do that. Because yeah, in the final, I was almost cooked, and the condition was changing so much. So you have to still being with energy, and you have to change your mind quickly and adapting yourself to the condition, which Tristan did it perfectly, because it was just raining onshore and offshore. But yeah, and on the rocks, just coming on the heat with Tristan, I told him, man, you've been there. You are in the final against me. If you beat me now, you're going to deserve that world title, definitely. Because sometimes people are like, oh, he's lucky. On one hit, you can say he's lucky. Yeah. On two hits, you can say, okay, well, he's really lucky. But on 5 hits and then beating me in front of the final, this is not luck. Okay, this is more than that. So it's why I told him I was hearing people, and then he did it, because that was for him that title that day. Because, and all the year, I mean, it's been coming from so far. I remember the guy from the APB wanted to interview him about the title before the event. And Tristan didn't want to interview himself, because he didn't want to put himself in front, like, okay, yeah, I'm ready for that world title. Yeah, I'm ready to get it, because he's not like that.
That's really stupid.
Yeah, he was not like that, because he knew it was so hard for him to get this title. He had to beat so many guys, and the scenario have to be like so crazy to happen. But he made it happen. That was amazing. Just to talk about it make me really exciting. I love it because he's been working for it, really focused, healthy, and he deserved it. It was super cool to be a part of that.
No, it's an amazing day for all of us here back home. You know, it's watching him grow up. You know, I think I met him when he was 10 years old, and he was always just a kid that will spend the whole day in his wetsuit all rashed up and salty, but he'll surf. If it's 1 foot or 6 foot beach break, he'll just surf it. And it's just amazing to watch him develop and grow and really become this great focused sportsman that he is, you know, coming from a really small town. But yeah, man, it's just, look, I mean, I think right now we all just miss competitive bodyboarding. I think that buzz it gives us, from me as a commentator and from you as a athlete, you know, it just brings us together, the whole community together. And, you know, at the fact that everybody supports each other so well, you know, it just puts us leaps and bounds ahead of certain sporting industries because we are such a tight.
Yeah, I will change that. I will change that for nothing else, man. That vibes in bodyboarding, and since I've been on the tour, and when I was young, watching the big guys and how they were treating each other, that balance between the competitive sides, but the friendship and the respect is amazing, because it's good to have competition, you know. And since back in the days, and since my steward with Ben Severson, and then Mike with Tamega, and then Ben Player and Damien King, and then Olligan, and then me with Pierre, and all, and Jared and Jan or whatever, is just so healthy, you know. This battle, yeah, I don't know, this balance between battle and friendship, and such a healthy lifestyle. I love it. I love it, and I think this is one of the strengths of our sport. Yeah. One of the strengths of our sport. People really don't. I don't know. Like, it's hard for us to show it to the world since we don't have much media and stuff like that. But I think, yeah, everyone on that tour just have an amazing story to tell, really.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I do agree. You know, you get these great rivalries, and then after each event or whatever, we're having beers together, we're having a barbecue, whatever, guys just hanging out. You know, and just there's no animosity. There's very little vibes, you know. So it's all just good times and good vibes. And guys, you know, you all travel together. You spend months at a time on the road, you know. And yeah, it's and that's the one thing that makes it so much easier, you know, having a easy relationship with your competitors and a friendship with them. And that's why going to these events is just actually so much better than, you know, being.
Yeah, hopefully we're gonna see each other. I mean, with you and the other rider. I don't know really which event's gonna happen this year. I heard that maybe Kayama, Sintra, and Fronton can be the events that could happen. I might be in Sintra. If Sintra happen, I will be there to compete and on DK and men's and see how I go. And then Fronton, I will be there, and hopefully we can see most of the guys coming here. Even if there is no world title or whatever, just be there to compete, to have a good time, to have a nice party all together, and to close up the year with a good event.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think everybody would be very open and very positive and very excited to be able to compete again and to travel again and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I will definitely be there as well. It's a pity we just can't have a year for the South African Pro in 2020, but you know, we're pushing hard for next year.
When's gonna be that? When's gonna be that event?
It was gonna be end of August.
It was gonna be. Sorry, yeah, I thought it's going to happen and I won't be there. No, it's not gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen this year. So obviously, all the funding got pulled towards, you know, other COVID stuff. So, you know, that's good. I mean, we've got to work towards a sick one.
You have to see that on the good side of it, which is that you've got more time to prepare something bigger.
Yes.
We can work on the platform, and IBC have the time to work on their media platform with the website going to be really soon. And growing up everything. I mean, that's the way to see it. And something time to make it bigger.
Yeah, and I can't agree with you more. Mars, this is bringing us to the end of our little chit chat, and me dropping in on you doesn't happen every day. So I'll take
it. Dion.
So thank you for your time. Thank you again.
Thank you. Same to you.
Just thank you for being the role model that you are in the world of bodyboarding, and we're looking forward to a lot more great Amaury Lavernhe adventures. So, my man.
Okay, thanks so much. Yeah. Thanks to all you guys being watching and supporting bodyboarding. I mean, this is totally that's written my life today. So, and I'm educating my kids with bodyboarding, and I think it's just such a healthy lifestyle that really should inspire many more people. So thanks you guys for watching.
Hell yeah, brother. Thank you. I'll catch you later. Ciao.
Okay, catch you later.
Woo. Oh, that was really cool chatting to Mars. What an inspiration he is. Well, coming up in our next episode, we're dropping in on Jeff Hubbard, the true flying Hawaiian, and we are looking forward to that one. So up until then, hope you guys stay safe. Mumbles out.